The College Football Experience Week 13 DFS show for Thursday and Friday episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN Thanksgiving free roll. Everyone who hits a football bingo in our contest will win $100 cash and a $100 gift card to the SGPN store exclusively on the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. So go grab that thing, and remember, folks, to let it ride.
This is Brian Bosworth, a.k.a. The Boz, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother. Peace out. Boz out.
Yes. Welcome to the College Football Experience Week 13 DFS show. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Apparently I smoke and I drink. I got a little ruffly voice. It's early in the morning. How you doing?
Did you say roughly?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a word.
Gravelly or rough?
Roughly, like a fucking bag of Ruffles. You know what I mean? Like you just took a handful of Ruffles and you just threw it down your fucking throat, and someone asks you a question, you start answering.
There we go.
So it's early in the morning over here on the West. I am joined by my co-host, the DFS god himself. We tweet the invite for the listener or the viewer, whatever the fuck you want to say, over on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And at NC__NICK. Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, Farmer Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place.
There we go. What's going on, man? Happy Turkey Day Eve.
Oh, yeah, man. We got a loaded, unfortunately, just a loaded college basketball slate. No, the action just punted on tonight.
No Sunbelt Wednesday either? Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, this is my problem here. Mac's so cutting edge on playing these Tuesday games and Wednesday games, but they don't make a lot of sense. They wait until like November to do that.
Hey, next year, Conference USA.
That's what I'm saying. America's going to come save the day. All right.
Shout out to Patrick Fisher and Surge MTZ in the chat. Happy early Thanksgiving to you guys too. Surge wants to know what does Colby drink? And I guess the question is that just a coffee or is that an Irish coffee?
Oh man, I wish. I literally just woke up. I was up late doing some shows, and so just grabbed a. This sounds like something you use like in the shower. This is Spindrift.
Spindrift.
Just carbonated. It's like a Perrier.
All right.
But
Jake Packman also in the chat. He's a legend.
Yeah, he's the fucking man right there. Patrick Fisher.
Dude, I think Jake's the guy from Michigan, right? I'm up in the mitten as well. I'm looking outside the window here. There's about a foot of snow on the ground. I'm not used to that coming up from North Carolina.
Coward. Now, growing up, we had that, buddy. And Jake, I think, might have been the one to talk about the liquor pitchers at Waldo's.
Oh, that's right. Hopefully, I will be at Waldo's come Saturday.
He's being serious, Jake.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not 100% that was Jake, but
I think it was. He'll have
yeah.
to confirm on the chat here. But anyway, dude, we have college football DFS. We got a Thursday showdown slate, and we got a main slate for all the games Friday, and then a Friday night slate. Then we'll try to come to you later in the week for the Saturday slates as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a little let down. There was they didn't even cover the FCS game on Thursday. Those prick bastards. But hey, gotta take it.
Sorry, Serge has me cracking up here. Hey, quick rundown of last week. Last Thursday, we had another showdown lineup that I won. That was that SMU Tulane game. Then we had the really bad Friday night slate with the USF Tulsa and New Mexico State, San Diego State games. I won that again. Sorry, it's what I do. I also crushed you on the side bet. I had the Aztec receiver Mekhi Shaw, who went 6 for 120 and 2 touchdowns.
I was not expecting that much offense from San Diego State.
I'm telling you, man, the passing game is cranking. But you had the Tulsa running back Ford, who had like 10 yards rushing.
Well, I mean, you know why? I'm too busy. I told you the other guy was questionable.
Yeah.
The second string guy. Ford's the third string. The second string guy played.
Well, I think Prince had a big day. Their first string running back. Either way, the second string guy was not going to put up.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying for my roster, I would have liked to.
Gotcha.
But once again, the problem is I'm in the trenches over here creating content. Sometimes I'm recording and I see that, oh shit, this news is happening.
You're a grinder, buddy.
Yeah.
and you love the app.
Yeah, come use Spindrift. Help with your grinding.
That sounds like a new app, man. Spindrift. I like it.
I was on the Spindrift.
It could be Grinder's challenger. It could be their competition. Let me finish recapping. Saturday main slate: Odin's Raven 6961. R.R. Bowl Jr. He came in second. You know what really brought me down are all your East Carolina Pirates that I foolishly rostered last week. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't have to rehash that. I know you're still getting over it. So
we're a basketball school. I'm like Kramer.
That's right, man. Hey, I locked up ECU on the hardwoods yesterday. Came through for me.
Yeah, I had them the day before, and they came through for me. They're just that's what they do. Michael Schwartz be with you has turned that program into. It's like Blue Edwards is back in purple and gold.
The problem this year, though, they're a favorite. I kind of like them as a dog more. I don't know. I don't know about betting on them today.
Well, they got the heart of champions. You know what I mean? They'll find a way to make it done.
There you go. So Saturday night, guess who won?
Who's that?
I won again.
Oh, wow.
I won again Saturday night. Trashman 79 came in second, but you did crush me. Well, not crush me, but you beat me on the side bet because the side bet you had Rocket Sanders, who went for 232 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a monster game, 50-plus fantasy points. My guy, Quinshawn Judkins, I mean, he also ran for over 200 and I just had 1 touchdown. He had a very nice game as well, but definitely not as good of a game as Rocket Sanders, the Razorback running back.
He got that done in the fourth quarter, you little Judkins fella. All right?
It's true. He had a big fourth quarter, which definitely helped. But so you definitely won the side bet. And then last night, R.R. Bowl Jr. took down the MAC contest. So there we go. That's enough of the housekeeping. We are good to look forward to the game tomorrow night.
There we go. And I see talk about UTSA and Frank Harris, top 5 QB in the nation. He is a baller.
Hell yeah.
And Patrick Fisher's asking if I was coming live from an Econo Lodge in Mississippi, something like that. It's very similar to my apartment in Los Angeles. So let's start with the Egg Bowl Thursday. The only spot, the only game. The NFL does 3 games in a fucking dome. All 3 of the games. That's why the NFL sucks, dude. I can't get on board with that shit. All right, give me the Egg Bowl. All right. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is pretty obvious. We're going to roster both quarterbacks, right?
No, I didn't actually. So first off, I thought this was a hard game for a showdown contest because on one side you have a Mississippi State where they have maybe 8 or 9 potential pass catchers. So good luck trying to pick the right one every game. And then with Ole Miss, their passing attack, I didn't really want any parts of. So no, I did not roster both quarterbacks, but we'll jump into our captain chair. The player that is his salary is 1.5 times. He gets 1.5 points. I'm sure everybody that's listening knows how this works. I went back to my guy, Quinshon Judkins, the running back. He is clearly, I think, the best bet for production in this whole slate on both teams. So that's 14.7K for Judkins. He is not your captain?
Nope.
Is he on your roster?
He is on my roster. Got to have him on your roster, and that's why I'll do this. Look, the problem is Mississippi State's run defense gonna be there. This little cookie cutter shit that Lane Kiffin's trying. All right, he's already out the door. Are you worried that the team quit on him?
Yeah, potentially, sure. And I do think Mississippi State has a solid running game, but Ole Miss has been able to get the ground game going against pretty much everybody. And Quinshon Judkins, I mean, if you want to bring up his stats here, he will take Alabama, where he had 135 yards and 2 touchdowns. He ran for over 200 last week. Ran for over 200 against A&M 3 weeks ago. So 2 out of the last 3 weeks, he's been over 200 yards. So, yeah, Mississippi State, maybe they can slow him down a little bit. But like I said, I mean, even like the quarterback for Mississippi State, I mean, he hasn't had a very impressive year. So who's the most reliable source of fantasy production? Is it Will Rogers?
It is, and that's my guy, Will Rogers State Park, baby. All right, I live 10 minutes from Will Rogers State Park here in California. All right,
he's been a little bit of a disappointment, and I know Mike Leach has been extremely frustrated with the receiving group. So he is on my roster. He is the one quarterback I did roster, but not my captain.
Look, he is the epitome of a lawn chair. There's no denying that, but there's been speculation that Leach could step down. I think I think they're going to put it on. And I don't know if you know this, but Ole Miss's pass defense, atrocious all year. So I'm going to attack that and have Will State Park Rogers as my captain at 15K, 15 grand essentially, and then 600. I can't fucking talk.
15.6K.
It's fucking 8 a.m. here, man. I'm like, God damn it.
Well, I do think you have to roster Will Rogers because he's by far the best quarterback in this slate, and it would be a very ballsy move not to go with either quarterback, especially when there are so many question marks on both sides as to who's going to get the ball in the passing game. So you also went Jackson Dart, though, huh?
I did. I threw a dart at the old board, and
you're not a little bit concerned that, I don't know, 3 out of the last 4 games he's been south of 20 fantasy points?
No, I think he's not very good, and unfortunately, there's only a certain look. Who do you take then?
Sure.
Who do you take in this fucking game?
Well, let's read off our rosters and we'll get to it. So my all right, I had Judkins, my captain. I had Will Rogers. Next most expensive was, I guess I'm leaning into the Ole Miss running game, but I'll go Zach Evans because look, we know on any other team Zach Evans would be a bell cow running back getting 20 plus touches, but he does share the backfield with Judkins, 1A and 1B.
It's questionable though.
He was questionable. Like, if you look on DraftKings, he was questionable due to an injury in the Bama game. Well, he played last week against Arkansas. Against Arkansas, he also ran for over 200 yards. So I don't see him having an injury problem this week. So I went ahead and rostered both Ole Miss running backs.
What's this price?
His price is $8K.
Sold. I'm getting rid of Jaquavian Marks, even though Ole Miss's run defense is terrible.
Well, you know what? I also have Jaquavian Marks because other than Will Rogers, the only reliable source of fantasy production for Mississippi State is Jaquavian Marks, the running back, because he's had a pretty solid year. He catches a lot of balls. I think you have to have, in general, I have 4 guys from Mississippi State and 2 for Ole Miss because I do like Mississippi State to win this game. So I think if you can find a way to fit in Marks and the 2 running backs for Ole Miss, that's what you do. But you probably can't do that if you're rostering both quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's your side bet, I guess, is Jaquavian Marks versus
Jackson Dart.
There you go.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. So I'm pretty much down to my final two players on this slate.
As am I.
Look, who's got the most receptions on Hail State? It's Rufus. There needs to be more people named Rufus. Rufus Harvey. He's their possession guy. 45 catches, 430 yards, 3 touchdowns. I know Ducking has the most touchdowns, but I think old Rufus gonna come through for me at 4,200. What are you doing here?
I also took a stab at a Mississippi State receiver. I went Justin Robinson, who has 11 catches in the last 3 games. So if you're looking at overall, he does not have as many catches as your guy. And trying to take a stab at one of these receivers, like I said, good luck. But I think Justin Robinson might be emerging. We mentioned Leach has been frustrated with the receivers. So I looked at who has more recent catches rather than most overall catches on the season. And it seems like Justin Robinson is building up that rapport with your State Park guy. So, give me a shot on Justin Robinson.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, well, look, my final guy. Once again, it's like piston in the wind here. I'm taking Austin Williams at 3K. He's got 31 catches. That'll be like 5th most on the team. But I mean, I don't know. He's experienced. If you throw away the running back spot, it bumps him up. Because Marks has like 44 catches, second on the team.
Right. I like it. Well, hey, that way you have 2 bullets in your Mississippi State passing attack gun. So the chances are both of them probably don't hit, but maybe one of them will.
Yeah.
I only went one though, and my last guy is a kicker. The Coastal Carolina transfer. He really left Coastal Carolina in a bad spot. But Massimo Biscardi, the Mississippi State kicker, and last 8 points, 7 points, 10 points last 3 games. Kick a couple field goals. Give me some points on the board for 3.6K. I'll take anything he can help provide.
Yeah, and I mean, he's kind of been a little bit of a letdown a little bit there, but he's gotten better of late. I know out the gate, I think he struggled some.
Yeah, I think him and another kicker were kind of splitting duties out the gates, but he has at least hit most of his field goals the last couple of weeks, so we'll see what he does here.
All right. Well, look, that concludes our Thursday night solo showdowns, picks play. I don't fucking know what to say. Next up,
contest.
Yeah, I need a coffee. But before we get to Friday morning, I want to tell you folks out there that the College Football Experience Week 13 DFS show for Thursday and Friday is brought to you by WynnBET. WynnBET's now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today, bet $100, get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Out of all the slates, I think this was my favorite one.
Well, I mean, yeah, because there's actually some decent options to choose between. The other one's probably not. So this is, at least we have, how many games are on the slate here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got some options here. That's all we can ask for. But I found out that my takeaway was that I wasn't enamored with the quarterback options on the slate.
Oh,
so I'm curious if you spent up for a big dollar guy like DTR or Drake May, or if you went a little bit cheaper at the position. What'd you do?
Well, my top guy is what do they call that little dust up in the desert? All right, the Desert Bowl or some shit like that.
I forget.
Yeah,
it's not the Governor's Cup, is it?
Yeah, probably that too. Arizona State in Tucson. Arizona State's won the last 5 matchups. I think there's blood in the water because I do think the Wildcats are going to put it on them. And de Laura and those wideouts, those are Jacob Cowing, McMillan, all those stud wideouts. I think they're going to put it on Arizona State. They're still playing for something where I feel like Arizona State's like, let's just get to next year. So that is my top guy. How about yourself?
Play the music, man, for everything you just said.
Oh, man. You sandbagging son of a gun.
I think we both locked up Arizona. If we like Arizona to win at home, I think that's going to be because of a big game through the air. So I'm right with you.
Yeah. So who did you do with your second quarterback?
All right, I went a little bit cheaper here for only 6.6K. I also think the Boise State Broncos at home are going to roll all over. Don't tell me. Oh, come on.
Taylon Green.
You're telling me we got 22 starting quarterbacks on the slate and we picked the same two?
You're stealing my style, man. What did you hack into my computer?
Dude, Taylon Green has been a revelation after Hank Bachmeier transferred, after they fired the OC. They got back to, ground and pound physical football. And Taylon Green, that's what he does. Dual threat guy, probably more prolific now as a runner than a passer, but has thrown for over 205 straight games and then gives you all that, potential with his feet as well. So I like him to have a big game.
Did you see what Craig Bull said about him when leading up to the game last week?
No.
So Taylon Green is a 6'6" freshman from Lewisville, Texas. Craig Bull said he reminds me of Josh Allen, right? He goes, he's like when I grabbed Josh Allen, and this is a 3-star that no one recruited, not many offers, and it's just ridiculous.
I imagine Allen was in the same boat.
Yeah, I think that was part of the comparison.
So now they're probably unpolished as a passer, which is why they weren't a 4-star and weren't heavily recruited. But as a freshman, give him time. Wait until he's a junior.
Dude, call me crazy. Hey, Colorado, if you see a guy who's 6'6" and 220 that's been playing quarterback, how about you just take a shot on him?
How many schools are in Texas? How many schools like Texas State or North Texas or, UTSA? He'd be a perfect to play under Frank Harris for a year. Then, I don't know how all those schools in Texas let this guy get up to Idaho.
And the team's played a lot better with him than Hank Bachmeier.
For sure.
So I agree. I'm rostering him, and I think this kid's got a very big upside. Dirk Cutter and the new OC there. He's worked with some quarterback, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach, man.
Yep.
Probably. No, that was after Brady came after he left. Okay. But yeah, we have the same quarterbacks. You piece of shit.
Hopefully we don't have the same running backs. Do you have 3?
No, I have 2.
Just 2. Interesting. So I did kind of spend up at the running back spot, and that'll start with UCLA's Zach Charbonnet for 8.4K going up against Cal. He had kind of a quiet game last week against USC. I think the Bruins will rectify that this week and get the ball in his hands often because he's had some monster. Before the game against USC, he had over 50 fantasy points against Arizona, over 50 fantasy points against Stanford. I think they need to re-emphasize the run game, and that starts with Charbonnet.
I like it. I do think Cal's defense is decent, but I think Charbonnet is going to get his no matter who he plays.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Well, my top running back, I'm taking you back to the dust up. All right.
Play the music. Play the music.
You look, Arizona's run defense is awful. It's a rivalry game, so I do believe it'll be chippy. Arizona's only way to win this game. Arizona State's only way to win this game is to bleed the clock.
Run. They're going to get Valladay at least 20 plus touches. He's had a very nice year. I think we've rostered him a handful of times. I expect a big game from Valladay. I agree.
Completely agree. All right. Well, then tell me who your second running back is.
Oh, it would be my third, obviously, because I had Charbonnet.
Yeah.
I went real cheap here. I went to Iowa. I know we don't often like to roster Iowa Hawkeyes, but they do have a young running back named Caleb Johnson who's had a couple of monster games. He went for over 200 yards. Actually, 200 exactly, 22 rushes for 200 yards against Purdue a few weeks ago. I think he's kind of emerging as their running back 1. He's only 3.3K, and Iowa doesn't want anything to do with Iowa this week. I'm sorry, Nebraska doesn't want anything to do with Iowa this week. I think the Cornhuskers' run defense has been weak all season. So I expect Caleb Johnson to have a pretty nice day for a very low price of only 3.3K.
Ooh, it's a damn shame we didn't get Iowa in a standalone game to do a showdown this year.
Why's that?
Because it's hilarious.
It'd be awful.
No, that's the point. It would be fucking hilarious. I want to see it. All right. I want to see it. Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I think they're in a spot. It makes sense with Nebraska's run defense the way it is. And you got to wonder, how about the point of potentially the buy-in?
Right.
Well, what is the buy-in right now with the Nebraska Cornhuskers? These guys are going to be transferring in like a week.
Yeah, I mean, we said on our picks pod, they fought at home tough against Wisconsin last week. That was probably their last hurrah. Wisconsin came back, scored a touchdown for the win in the last minute, and now they're going on the road to Iowa City. I just don't see how this Cornhusker team is going to have any fight. And if they don't bring the fight, Iowa's going to run all over you. So that's why I went with the running back. They got a couple of guys that gets carries there. It's a little bit of a gamble, but at that price tag, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I agree. My second back, I'm taking you back to Boise. George Halani. Look, Utah State's Blake Anderson's done a decent job getting them back to a bowl after a disastrous start, but they're not a real physical team. And I think that's one of my knocks on Anderson at Arkansas State was I felt like his teams weren't that physical. Boise is the epitome of physical. I think he has a big day on the Smurf turf and I think it's a senior night. So
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. He's been a beast for a couple of years now, and Boise does have that other young running back, Genty. And I think Holani's the play here. But moving forward, that backfield with Green at quarterback and Genty at running back, they're going to be quite nice for the Broncos for a few more years here. So just, I don't know, I mean, obviously, nobody's going to remember that next year, but Genty's a guy to watch out for next year. Once Holani graduates, once he has that backfield, because I think he's a more dangerous, explosive runner right now, but Holani is just consistent. You know what you're going to get. So I like the play.
Let's go. Okay. Next up for you, buddy.
I'm at receiver now. I got 3. You have 4, though. So I'm still 1 ahead of you. So why don't you name your first?
Well, no, I actually just switched. Did 3 running backs. I'm going to go because I saw value with Ty J. Spears. And I think I get it. But Keaton Mitchell still went off against Cincinnati. This isn't the Cincinnati defense from a year ago.
That's true.
I think Spears will get his. And another thing is he catches the ball a lot in this offense. So I will take a shot there on
what's his price?
His price $6,400.
Yeah, I know you're a big Spears guy. He's a hell of a player. I didn't quite care for the matchup on the road at Cincy, but you're right. It's not the same Cincy defense as the last couple of years. So I think he can still carve out a pretty nice game.
Yeah, let's go. So I am going 3 running backs. Those are my 3 backs. Let's go.
All right, same game as my top receiver at 6.8K. I'm going to take you to Cincy's Tyler Scott. Last time you talked me out of rostering him, he had 10 catches for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns a couple weeks ago against Navy. You're not going to talk me out of it again. A little worried about the quarterback situation. We'll see. There's some injuries at quarterback, but I think Cincy at home, Tyler Scott, he's been a beast all year long. Needs 112 yards to reach 1,000 on the year. I think he does that this week against the Green Wave.
That game's going to be awesome. One of the games to watch this weekend.
Agreed.
My highest priced receiver, I'm taking you to Columbia, Missouri, where Matt Landers, the Toledo transfer, is at 5,600. And Mizzou's defense is actually decent, but I just think Arkansas's offense, when KJ Jefferson's healthy, Kendall Briles can get this thing going. 5,600, I think he's a little undervalued.
I like Landers. I'm going to go only $300 cheaper, and I actually had money to spend here. Same game. I'm going to go to your guy, the freshman at Missouri, Luther Burden the third, starting to emerge a little bit, and he's at home. I do think that Mizzou defense is a lot tougher at home. Meanwhile, Arkansas, you want to fade that secondary. So I'm going to go Luther, Burden. And even though, I like Matt Landers. I think I've rostered him the last couple of weeks. That could be our side bet.
Landers My original roster before I made the switch while we were recording was Burden in there, but then when I switched to Spears, I didn't have enough money for Burden, so then I had to.
Burden's less expensive. You said your guy's 5.6K, right?
Yeah, no, but I already had him in the roster when I went to Spears.
So I got you. I got you. So you wanted roster both in that game.
Potentially, yes.
But you couldn't. I got you. Okay. Well, I do like Luther Burden, the 5-star freshman, to have a nice game here. And if you want that as your side bet, I'm down.
Let's fucking go. All right.
I got one guy left. What about you?
I believe I have. I have two guys left.
Okay. Go ahead.
Taking you to the Tobacco Bowl. NC State at North Carolina. Why? Oh no, this is the. I think I got had with this before. Make sure you have the right green, right? Yeah, I think I got had with this before. Okay, that changes. That changes my pick before. There's 2 A greens on Carolina. You're like, how the fuck is this possible?
Right.
Okay, so I will tell you then that I am rostering. I'm going to go to that dust up. Giovanni Sanders, the second leading receiver on Arizona State.
I like it.
They're not a pass team by any means, but they're going to need to be in this game. And Arizona's defense sucks. So Giovanni Sanders, to get your second leading receiver at 3,400, sign me up. Let's go. What are you doing?
What has Sanders done recently? Because my last guy's 3,600, but it's a total dart throw. It's not like I'm confident in the guy.
Well, Sanders, first off, is a senior. I think in positions like this, you want to play a senior. Yes, he struggled the past 2 games. I believe he got injured actually last game. But prior to that, you go back 3 weeks, 5 catches. The week before that, 5 catches. He's had 3 games with 5 catches.
Yeah, he did turn his ankle in the second half of the Wazoo game where he only had 1 catch. But he played last week, but he only had 1 catch for 3 yards. I wonder how healthy that ankle is. So no,
final time he gets to play in the dust up, he's going to show up.
All right. Well, we'll see. So a total dart throw. I went an Eastern Michigan receiver. I'm in Michigan right now, so I got to take somebody from the Mitten State. I went Darius Lassiter, 3.6K. Total dart throw here. Total punt play. 4 for 32 last week, 2 for 25 the week before. I needed a cheap receiver. I got no idea about this guy. He is my official punt play. Let's see what he can do. All
right. I like it. I'm going to take you to my final. Speaking of dart plays, well, Toledo's taking on Western Michigan. Toledo's already clinched, right? Tucker Gleason show. DeQuan Finn, I think, gonna wait it out to the MAC championship. One thing about Tucker Gleason, they pass more when he's when he's at QB. Finn's more of a running quarterback, I feel like. So I'm gonna take a shot on some of these wideouts. Demir Blankumsey, another great MAC name, 4,500. He's the second leading receiver on the team. Let's go.
I like it. Let's do it, man.
All right, let's hop over to Saturday night's slate.
Friday night, buddy. We haven't even got to Saturday
Friday
yet.
Night slate. I need a coffee, man. I'm in the trenches over here. Just.
All right, so there's only 2 games. So again, we're gonna have a lot of similarities. I think you got Florida State with an over/under of 58, with Florida State being favored by about 10. And then you have Wyoming Fresno with an over/under of only 50, with Fresno State being favored by 15. So kind of tough here. It was a little bit challenging to make my roster here, but I did go with 2 quarterbacks. Did you?
I did.
I didn't take the most expensive in Jordan Travis.
Nope, I didn't either. So we probably have the same quarterbacks again.
Probably, because I don't think you want the Wyoming quarterback.
Certainly not after last week.
So Jake Haener and AR-15.
Correct. Let's go.
Haener was $600 less expensive than Travis. He has the easier matchup. His team is, slated to score more points. He averages more fantasy points. That's at the end of the day. That's why I went Haener over Travis, and I couldn't fit both of those guys in my lineup.
And I liked what he said. You know, my first thing coming into the week was like, well, Fresno's already clinched. Are they not going to play Haener? Right? No. Haener went out and said, he goes, I'm not a fool. He goes, my father played this game, and he told me countless times what he would give to play again. He goes, I love our fan base. And he goes, and I know that this is my last chance to run out of that tunnel, and I'm very excited to and I'm not going to miss any opportunity. So so the thought of me sitting out this game, absolutely ridiculous.
In the era of load management, how refreshing is that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I heard him say that, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So 8,100 Jake Haener, and then AR-15 at 6,400.
I know we've talked a lot of shit about AR-15, but fantasy-wise, I mean, he has, 3 straight games over 28 fantasy points. They've got the best competition, Vandy, South Carolina, A&M, but still, this is a rivalry game here. I think it's going to be closer than what people think, and I think AR-15 is going to be able to do some stuff with his legs to justify his fairly affordable price tag.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's broken off 80-yard touchdown runs in some of these games, and, I know AR-15, highly recruited, but yeah, to go back to the golden eye days, he's more of like a PP7. You know what I mean?
Deep reference. I wonder who's going to get
that. Running back play, I'm pretty sure we're going to have the same running backs.
I think I rostered not the 3 most expensive, but the 2 most expensive anyway. I went Jordan Mims, Fresno State.
I did not go with him.
Okay. I mean, Wyoming's got a decent run defense, but Fresno's at home in a game where they're supposed to score a lot more points than the competition, more points than anybody on the slate here. And he's been coming on of late. I mean, against Nevada, he was over 150 plus. Against Hawaii, he was 18 for 123. Jordan Mims is clearly the RB1 for the Bulldogs. And at 6.9K, he's going to have a pretty nice game here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Tedford's offense only gets better. Obviously, they had a little setback when Haener was injured, and I feel like that's where a lot of their losses accumulated. If not, they might have a much better record.
That's right. And Jake in the chat says he's going to start telling his manager that he needs some load management. I like it. Come on.
Yes.
If NBA players can do it, why can't we?
Yeah. Tell Stacking the Money Green. Just say, hey, dude.
You know who needs load management is Colby. You've been doing way too many pods.
November's tough, man. When college basketball is rolling and college football is at the same time.
Burnout is a real thing, okay? I don't want to talk to you in a month where you're like, I hate sports.
I can see that happening. Don't talk to me about sports, all right? If you want to talk about
Lifetime channel movies,
the Aurora Borealis or some shit like that, let me know. My running backs, I'm going Titus Swen, man.
Play the music.
This guy's a fucking beast. Greg Bowl. You can take his whole team. Guess what? He's not going to give a shit, and then he's going to load up that team the very next year and compete for a Mountain West championship, which he almost got to the Mountain West championship game.
Nice bounce back year in general for Wyoming. I agree,
dude. I mean, they were projected as like one of the 5 worst schools in D1 this year.
That was a dumb projection.
Yeah,
I think we were both on the over.
Yeah, because we trust Craig Bowl. It's a system. It's a system he's got there. So Titus Swen's a beast. You can take Xavier Valade, which I happen to have on on my team that I just mentioned a second ago. But
right.
Swen is a beast. I believe they recruited him out of Africa.
Wow.
$6,200. Let's go. I know you
Africa to Wyoming is quite the change of pace there, but I like it. So my third running back.
At the same time, not really. If you're out there, I mean, maybe from a temperature point of view, but if you're out there and like fucking lions and zebras are passing, you go up to Wyoming and it's just grizzly bears and wolves and shit.
Okay. All right. Sure. Sounds good. Moving along, my third running back is, I think, the Florida State running back who has really emerged. And that's the Oregon transfer, Trey Benson, 5.3K. I don't know why he's still less than Trayshawn Ward. I think you got to go Benson.
Yep. Why is that? Is that just them being lazy?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like Ward as a running back also, but I can see as the season has progressed, he's been losing touches to Benson big time. So, I think DraftKings or whatever software company that does DFS sports, I think they might have got lazy there. You're right.
Yeah, and then I went on my third running backs on the other side of that game. I went with the Louisiana transfer, Montrell Johnson. This guy is a big chunk of shit. You could make a case he's like 100% of the Florida offense.
What's his price, like $6K?
Yeah.
So is Mims versus Johnson a fair bet? Mims is 6.9K. Is he too far? You probably couldn't roster him over Johnson, right?
I didn't have the money, but you know what? It's Thanksgiving. All right. Let's do it. Let's battle. Right, I think Florida State, I'm not, you know me. I know Patty C says I'm a hater. I really don't believe I'm a hater. Do I not like Florida or Florida State? Correct.
The state in general?
Yeah. I try to I'm joking. I don't think I'm a hater. I just don't think the ACC is very good. And I think it's easy to be somewhat decent and accumulate a shit ton of wins.
Fair enough. That's true. Now, you could say the same thing about the SEC East, though.
Well, Florida does suck too, dude.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But I believe there's opportunity. Like, I don't think like Florida State's really got this lockdown defense. I think they played a Louisiana team that's been pretty shitty all year.
Yeah.
I think they played a Miami offense that is among the worst in college football. And sure. I think Florida will have some opportunities to really expose that. And I think Richardson and Johnson are plays that make a lot of sense.
I like it. I agree. But Mims is still going to outscore Johnson. So bad choice. All right. We each have 3 receivers, right?
Yep.
Lock up Jalen Moreno Cropper, who's been crushing it when Haener came back, you saw Moreno Cropper just explode as well. 7.4K. Play the music?
Play the fucking music. He changed his name in the offseason, but
added a hyphen. Maybe just, trying to give his mom some credit.
Yeah, no, I think his grandparents passed away, and he threw that there. I think I saw a tweet about that.
Good stuff.
Shout out to Jalen Moreno Cropper and their families.
My next guy, he's capable of having monster games, and he's capable of going dead quiet. So I kind of rolled the dice a little bit on Florida State's Johnny Wilson. He's like that 6'6" receiver or something. You play him too? Oh,
yeah. Arizona State transfer.
I mean, look at it. He had like 7 for 149 against Louisville, over 100 yards against Georgia Tech. Last week he catches 1 ball for 24 yards. So it's a gamble.
How do they not, like, call me crazy. If I'm Mike Norvell, he's so much bigger than everybody else. He's got to get the ball more, man.
Yeah, I don't care about Micah Pittman or Ontario Wilson. Yeah. He is by far he is a matchup nightmare. He's got good hands too, man.
Yeah,
especially like a red zone target. Throw it up, throw the lob, throw the fade. Come on now.
They haven't used him as well as I thought they would use him.
Agreed.
Well, shit. Then I'm on my final guy here.
Same here, and I took a real roll of the dice on a guy I didn't even know his name before this, but he's a Florida Gator receiver that had 8 for 165 and 2 touchdowns last week, and he's only 3.1K. Dejan Reynolds.
Well, you're making a lot of sense for me to roster, but I don't want to have the same lineup as you. So,
I mean, it's a total gamble also because coming into that game, he only had 3 catches on the year. Okay, but apparently, whatever was the case last week, I'd have to talk to a Florida Gator fan to see why he got in and why he was emphasized so much. But just needing a punt play, I think a guy that had that kind of game last week, sign me up.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to take you to the most prolific passing attack. And let me tell you.
Fresno.
No.
Wyoming. You're joking.
Yes. You're Wyoming. I'm being sarcastic. And look, Wyatt Earp once headed to California after he had the OK Corral, right? Worked out for him. I believe he died in Los Angeles if those movies are fucking real.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
Well, This guy reminds me of Wyatt Earp. His name's Wyatt Weiland. All right.
Sounds like he could have been in the Old West.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wyatt, you give this guy shit, he will punch you in your fucking face. All right. Wyatt Weiland, he's got 20 catches on the year, and get this, he's the second leading receiver on the team.
Sounds like a tight end. I bet you he's their tight end.
No, he's a wideout. I'm telling you, I've watched enough of this team.
White guy?
Yeah.
I think every Wyatt is a white guy, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure about that. But he kind of got a little Cole Beasley vibe.
Okay.
Minus the rap album that I know about. So look.
What are his thoughts on COVID? No, I'm joking.
Well, he's in Wyoming, dude. COVID never happened in Wyoming. So Wyatt Weiland, I think he's going to be able to look. I don't know how much. I know Haener's playing, but like Fresno's already clinched. Maybe they don't really care that much.
Okay.
Wyatt Weiland will maybe go off. I know you look at his stat line and you say, dude, you're taking a wide receiver. First off, this guy's from Colorado Springs. Hey, Buffs, how do you miss on Wyatt Weiland? All right.
Sounds like Ed McCaffrey should have recruited him. Maybe he still had the job at Northern Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. You can throw your clipboard at your recruiting coordinator. All right. Look, he didn't do anything against Boise, but Boise's defense is legit. Well, he had a touchdown, actually. He had a rushing touchdown. They run him too, buddy.
Okay. I like it.
Against Utah State, 6 for 94, buddy. Let's go.
All right. What's his price?
His price was what the hell was his price? I believe it was 4,500.
Oh, I didn't have that kind of money. So, all right. Good luck to you, but I'm going to kick your ass again.
Let's go. Folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. We might even be back with a little Saturday DFS show for us, but we invite you to come play. Also, we're doing college basketball nightly DFS shows. I mean, not shows. I'm sorry, contests. So come enter. Once again, we tweeted out at TCE on SGPN. NC Nick's on Twitter at NC__NICK. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Give us a follow. And want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners out there. It's pretty cool that we get to sit here and bullshit with you guys and talk football and basketball. And it's, I don't know, I've stumbled upon something really cool, and I appreciate everyone listening.
Hell yeah.
And, yeah. I hope they everyone has a great Thanksgiving, get a lot of turducken. All right. And stay safe. And look, today's the second biggest drinking day in America.
Bottoms up. Cheers, boys.
Go get yourself a fucking few. What are some of the names we were calling a drink? I feel like when we covered Maction, there was like a Hip and Hammer. Go get a Hip and Hammer. All right.
There you go.
There you go. There's a wide receiver somewhere on the. I think for the Miami, Ohio Redhawks.
Exactly. I rostered him last night in our DFS contest.
That's what I'm saying. So go get yourself a Hip and Hammer, kick back, and have a great weekend. Stay safe. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Remember, we come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out the NFL Gambling Podcast. Every other sport, the soccer gambling podcast, the World Cup Gambling Podcast. Just rolling along. Just too much stuff. What are you laughing at over there?
Surge in the chat. Talk about Spindrift again.
Yeah, go get yourself. Look, maybe you're a little lonely this weekend. All right, maybe
put some vodka in that Spindrift.
That's what I'm talking about. Throw a little, Tito's. I almost said kettle, but I wanted to promote an American vodka, even though I think Tito's still gets their. I think Tito's does it like kind of undercover, like they bring the vodka in from another country and then have it there and
just label it in Austin.
Something like that. Someone was, I don't know if that's true either. That might have just been some drunk conversation where someone was telling me that. So
either way, it's good vodka and it's cheap. So, hey, fuck it.
There you go. All right. He's like Wyatt Weiland of vodka. All right. Talking about Tito's. So, all right, folks, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Thank you. Well, this is a great way to get started. And I haven't even won all my games yet. It's a great night to be a top
Sometimes people that are standing on third base think they hit a triple. But they didn't.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Because when you're in East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.